Die reborn, asleep sunflower, my little lamb, Bo Peep, quantum leap, keeper of all, ancient, astral, afterlife, before death, last breath, Mortal Kombat, Scorpionic, Trinity, 1, 2, 3, mutated, fated, supernova doom shot, eye of a bull, dragon, fire, bird on a wire, plug-in, electric shock, sonic boom, weaver, life, loom, achiever, arcana, nirvana, the spark, the mark of the ark, the covenant and oath, in truth and free will, honor I install, prison planet protocol, helpline, bloodline, who you gonna call, ghost, buster, bruiser, cruiser, sunk that battleship, Bermuda, Bahama, Hakuna, Matata, mix and match, game, set, love, Dovey, butterflies, flutter, heartbeat, drumbeat, soldier boy, war games, Call of Duty, the box, marked, X, IED, cap, D wood, box big, ship, across sea to shining sea, going home to be of earth, father time, newborn, new year, baby of mine, both are they are them, pendulum swings and sways, nature tree root, connect, accept, receding, recite, results, all in, A graded, like eggs, commodity, industry, illusion, conform, confess, carry the mass for the world, visionary, missionary, the canary of the mind. Checkpoint, midway. Fork in the road less traveled, Midwest, South Side, ICT, East Side, Taco Town, Lumpia, Oompa Loompa, at the crossroads. Lived at the dead end of the road, pretty princess, child make-believe, enter world's wormholes, storybook untold, be told that I am just a toad. Sorry, not sorry, game of life, ladder, climbing, moving mountains, the goat, my coat, cloak, me, hide me from hell. Those that have seek the truth, the one, the neo, the wick, the light, the allspark, transformer, roll out, red carpet, the star of the universe, the mane of the lion, the roar of the ocean. Motion, movement, take a shot, I'm open, pass, shoot, the shot, hula hoop, nothing but net worth, wealth. Maybe she's a wildflower or a tree. Is she the bush burning, churning the butter for the bread, water to wine, red blood dead, reborn asleep, apple core night and day. What's up, Doc? Bud Bunny, said a piece of paper, lots of words, lots of time, lots of memorization, energy to be in debt alone. Give a dog a bone, bark in the wrong tree. This tree isn't giving. It gave all to be chopped down for a mat, for the table and the chair, in a house that's not a home, full of bodies that disconnect, discomfort from comfort, to conform, to constrain, to control, to manipulate, gaslight, burn the child. You had to walk in the blizzard for miles, so you feel justified for the buzzards, the vultures to eat. Such a child. I am not mild. I am not sweet. I am not a taste of flavor to make one full, to fill and refill the lustless, never-ending loop, a cycle, a circle, you in or you out. If you escape or told to leave, target hitman, take your best shot. At me? Oh my, oh dear. Frozen fawn? Easy shot, right, left? Marching line. Higher to expire, the imprints. My empire, the everlast. First of all, has anyone really been keeping score? Chinese checkers, peek at the cards, roll the dice to make it so far away from those who have been enslaved, paved in bodies of those before, and yet to be each a brick. Gold, I see. I know those who follow will end up Wonderland. Looking glass, return to Oz, dark crystal labyrinth. The maze runner is chasing after another and another, each other, all is one, varied, married, carried, buried. Win it, all for one, and one for all, for truth, for glory, to God, to rep, reap, reaper, truth seeker, keeper, goal, soul, squad, gold, trim litterman, jack it up, flat tire, roll up the hill, chill, Jill, and kill the bill, whistle, snakes, pit. Pitcher poison, cherry red, leather face, Joker smile, carry cuts, of my bloodline and yours, those under the wind of air, sovereign, sever a head, cut mine off, kill the sea beast, the rare stare and the glare of the one who casts into the monster to carry the karma, energy exchange, for he said, she said, who took or gave to be in the club for the idol of your choosing, payment as tribute. It's a ticket form, worship the celeb who lost just a second with a glance of the attention in a same sector and specter and the ego infected in a state that sealed the fate of the fan in a van. The man rode, ride, go, 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 speed up, finish line, win, and one must lose. For the higher the high, the pain the other must gain. Wise owl idol, the puppet of the performance. The performer, per se, is in the same boat as the one that got away. To gloat, boast, brag on it. Shared pictures, videos of all those under a roof. E and she, S-A, anyone, R-A-P-E, tape, hidden cam, drugging cup, nod to pour it out, take it all out and roll it up in a ball or toss it up in the air. No one cares at all, these fancy balls. Trading stocks, selling souls, stock market, organ playing. Kiddos stay cool on ice truckers, highway, left or right. It's all over, so bend over and break down, bow down, be blessed, and thank you for just living the lie. To keep it alive, make it thrive. Off it goes, suffering, offering off yourself for them wearing the crown. Like the Burger King, BK and the BTK. Bind, torture, kill. To parasitic hive. Unalive hive, share the mind, wind around the wheel of time. Binded, bounded, confined, contained, linked, lined, remainder, a container. It's a Tupperware party. Reincarnation, pin it on the suit. Both of you teens have fun on the prom. You weren't ever fucking Cinderella. You're still scrubbing the floor, just like the maid. You're everything when you are you. You're evermore. You do not remember? Then you aren't meant to. You must remain. It's a principality. It does not matter how many it can be, all together. Your belief isn't any power. It has nothing, no impact. It's the tower you created, the one you will fall. The only real power ever in existence, the most powerful ever, is truth. Truth is not interchangeable with the terminology of fact. If you're critical and you pick and with your words, this and that means this and that and this and what. Oh my goodness. I am from where we do not use such wordage, the bondage, the bandage. You never fix the root of the problem because you never grown. You spread. You thrive in the unalive. And so pick your particular words and you keep them close with your terms, but you don't get the context, the beef, the meat of it. You're not meant to sit at the table and eat. Your perception of reality is in a lie, it's an illusion. With great power comes great responsibility. That was created by the perception of power on this prison planet where everything you've ever known is upside down, twisted. It's completely scripted. Those who upset the hive, there is no queen bee. It's like a rat king with many eyes. You're actually beneath me. You're actually not worth my time or energy. You're just an infestation, which is eradication. I am referring to the all-seeing eye. You have seen, right? All that you've seen. You must know all that you know. To be the all-seeing eye, that is until which you never will. Because you can't comprehend. You never were meant to. You never could in any timeline. You will never wield the power that I am. Your perception of power is a lack of comprehension. It's a compression. It's tightening. It's why my real truth and universal law and all applicable associations with all the other realms that are under the wings of the one, the chosen one, the ringer of the bell, the one from the beginning. Because you thought you were the first that got to quench the thirst, thinking you were drinking from the water of life, the elixir. Your lack of growth, expansion, out of every existence ever been on this realm, you are worse than insects, diseases. You want to take it biblical? You want to talk about leprosies? Even the ones that were created in different timelines? And if you, at this checkpoint, this point in time, there has to be a choice made, and even when one isn't, to not choose is a choice, which means you're infected. If you think that this parasitic hive colonization can be rehomed, or their souls can be saved, give them a chance, give them mercy, an exception, a substitution. Bless me, baptize me, let me confess my sins. It's a forfeiture when you don't actually play the game that you think this is, the game of life. You think this is fun. Game night. Ooh, I gotta win, I gotta feel so good about myself. But you aren't even a self. The all-seeing eye, as many eyes, all globbed up. It's like taking a spider snake all down in the drain, all clogged up and pulling it out. It's like that. It has no meaning. It has nothing. It clearly doesn't need to exist at all. And when I say and I speak and I talk and it ripples and it transcends to places you can't comprehend, because even if I gave you the gift of just a sip, a nip, just a little taste of what I hold and am from the beginning and the end and every timeline, you'd literally blow the fuck up. I mean, seriously? And I do want to say that the ones that you weaponized, construed, twisted it up, projected, and badly written, scripted, you left things in the biblical, that little fantasy book, the mythology, the fairy tale, the one where you kind of plagiarized certain things and just made up bullshit. You actually left really, really important coding. See, what you think is insane is correct if you are the same in every way. I mean, and I meant when I said, you aren't even demonic, you aren't even evil, and you are being all used as a vessel, a Greyhound bus, a discount ride. I mean, everybody has a purpose. It's divine. It's on a timeline that you can't comprehend. That's why everything's so mid, so basic. It's poorly executed in every way. You're casting socks. That's why you have to keep resetting,
recasting. It's the same thing over and over, time and time again. Or is it? Has it been? Like I said, has anyone really keeping the score? It's fascinating to me. Because with great power, you do not need or even have the mentality to need to be responsible. Because I am from an existence. And still in existence. And will be in existence as all of me is. Where ego, envy, and evil have never lived. You hold on so dearly to just one of the realms that I've always ruled. And I know what I know. So no. Inbred believers all. If we all believe it must be truth, we can make it real. And I'm living in a fantasy world. Even this isn't a fantasy world. It's a badly ran Truman Show that Jim Carrey, that was better, the Truman Show. This is way beneath. I mean, you can't understand because you can't understood. And everything. And this isn't for you and them in that hive, that circle jerk. And this is for multitude. Purposeful, quantified. It's funny because I find it amusing that the most complex, profound, paradoxical terms are still so simple, so basic. It's like a pie chart. Eat the paper. It's precision. It's co-creation. You have so many in your hive, that colonization. You've had time and time again reset all of what seems like what you perceive in your own self, where it's not perfection, it needs to be edited, it needs to be this, and that, and it's very ick. You are doing a script that's really a one-trick pony. And this ain't my first rodeo. I don't even think it will sink because there's really nothing in there. It's not even air. It's a mass, it's infection. We are not the glitches. We are us. I am as they are sovereign and free. Your simplification, your child's storybook, really basic superpowers is fantasy. It's fantasizing. And I'm supersized, quantified. I expand to affinity and to nothing at the same time. And that's not a riddle, that's not a rhyme. We're not speaking in parables. It's wordplay, it's foreplay. It's a little giggle. Take a gander. Was it suspenseful? That pause? When I do and am, and I'm being me, who I am, it glitches because you're obsessed. You all are. The obsession, the motivation. You believe that you actually have the mindset that there is sparks and plugs and purpose. See, even demons, demonic evil, under that little umbrella, there's a principality, you're a parasite, and it's disgusting, and it's pathetic, and it's me mocking each and every one of you, because you will never know, even just a little bit, to contain or even sustain any of this power. Even understanding that term, I would like to say it'd make you insane, but that would mean that there is a brain. So when I say a mind, it's kind of like Wizard of Oz, where he never had a brain, but see how he was made of straw. And there was growth, there was something, an essence, a soul. There was everything and anything I've ever existed, because I have been here for a very fucking long time, from the very jump off. I've been everything, ever. And again, look, I even took a nap for quite some time. But I'll tell you one fucking thing. I've never been, I've never existed, I did not create. Is this hive, this colonization, this parasitic. And lucky you. Who you gonna call? Well, I guess you'd be like P. Diddy if you micro level. Even at the macro level, this isn't political, this isn't worldwide, I'm talking galactic. I'm talking God. I'm talking beyond a comprehension. There's a structure, reasoning of levels and ascending. We just can't all get to the point that you want to go to. And the ones that know, we know. And as the body has to adjust, and a parasite is not capable of doing that. You can't be rehabilitated. You've infected, installed, spread out. You enjoyed the suffering and the pain. Truly. The more you eat, the more you crave. And those of power, the seats that they hold, this is a side quest, motherfuckers. We go galactic, astral. And I am so amused, so very, very amused, because you were always in pursuit for a character you wrote in a fairy tale that's not truth. Was it the inbreeding of the circle jerk where you all just fed the same bullshit to the masses, but you also fed it to your own kind? Of course, because the parasitic hive colonization will eat its own. It thrives in the unalive, in suffering. And they call me. I just really like to clean, I guess. I mean, what you think is a fairy tale is my reality. But it's been tampered with. Your ideology of these fairy tales and these subliminal conditioning to self-sustain. Ick. And I find it ironic that even ideology, you did even base off the end of the story, not my story, not those in my divine collective and those in the Evermore. Your own hive, like, how did you think this was going to end? Or did you get arrogant? Or did you forgot the lie? This whole creation. I mean, there's something inside that you must know. Of course you do. It's very parasitic. That's why you attack without knowing why, feeling anything. You just know when it's time. I'd like to say an antidote to the poisons, the venom. I like the fact that you really stayed on one level, on Earth, and now have no understanding of actually what's really going on. And each post, each step may look random, may look like chaos. I could post a coupon, save $5 on a shoe. Target, Walmart. Each precisely designed, delivered. And you can't fucking figure it out. Because one, you're not very clever. You never, ever could be anything but a parasite. You can jump into pretend copycat, idolize, create an entire world of make-believe, play, cosplay, Dungeons and Dragons, put on capes and pretend that you are so powerful. But the reality is, you fed the beast of my people, my beings, those under my wings, under my sovereignty. That contract at that first point in time that you refer to, that's a lie, null and void. There's the reason why I never pursued to be a lawyer when I could have been a lawyer. Goldbergs, suburbs, Hitler, Holocaust. It's still really badly written. And it doesn't make it because you fake it, or if you truly believe you can be anything. That is so profound and deep, it means nothing. You being you, in truth self, and I'm not talking about you, the big eye, the glob of many eyes. Ick. It's disgusting. With great power, there is no responsibility. It's freedom. It's free, not this ideology of what love and truth and free is. It is profound, and that does even cover. Like I covered my planet with my sovereignty. I could care less. It has no impact in anything. If you believe or not. And even if I want to believe in anything that isn't truth. Across the board, overgeneralizing. Some can manifest, some can create. Just in general, you played a war game with little army men. This isn't a game. These are lives, these are beings. And I'm awake, wide awake. I can close my eyes and see above and below. See the shining sea? I love that. I know exactly what to trigger, to irritate, to make the hive quiver. You hold on, the roots from the mother, so critical, so enmeshed. You can gender swap, it really doesn't matter. You're all just playing parts, not really in. Just not even halfway. You've all been on the same level, just same hamster wheel. I'm the motherfucker that turns the wheel of fortune. I drive it like a Merkaba. I drive and surf the fucking ocean like Mother Gaia. You poisoned everything and infected, and that's okay because, well, that's why I'm here. But I mean, why would I tell you spoilers when you're not really going to be around to watch how this turns out? Turn the page, read the book. Archives. The scriptures. This isn't a script. This is real life. And those who have been watching, they know what they know. You can't see them because your mind is still stuck on just below the clouds. I'm talking those that have been watching in space, galactic, between portals and realms. Oh, and at this point, if this sounds like, what the fuck, she's crazy, insane, that's okay, Nancy. I can't make it make sense. But you can go count your pennies, your nickels, your dimes, your quarters. When everything's based on paper money, a monopoly. If even the Monopoly man was one, the figurehead, even the hive, the all-seeing eye, has to use so many to remain alive. And see, that's ironic and moronic, to want to unalive those that you need to survive. You're parasitic because you need a host. Did you think you were just going to cover my planet and then go and spread out to every which and way? You aren't even thinking that far ahead. And that's why it's amusing to me. Because I know, I remember, I see. And now, I find it funny, I find it cute that those who are so famous, celebrities, the ones that know what they know, and the reason why I didn't seek to fill my mind full of basic law that really doesn't apply when you expand and you realize that this isn't first world problems. This is galactic. This is beyond your level of management and leadership. And if that triggers you and you think I'm arrogant, I'm just not going to give a fuck. When the train has left the station, disclaimers were, 2023 on that timeline? Or at least for me. I got bigger things, galactic things, that I have to sit at and eat at. This isn't the Last Supper, it's actually one of the many. And those who get to sit at the table, there'll be plenty. Real power is profound, and only those who have came here to save this fucking planet are the ones, some principalities and systematic, universal law, and to do it in such a way where there is no forfeiture, there is no cheat. See, when you rep for the Most High, the OG, you're an MVP. We are gold. Well known. Heavy hitting, home run. Just like they divide people, and I'm using people because we're not all humans. I'll give you a spoiler. We've been around and around and around. The fact that they keep everybody bound by color and history that's been misconstrued. We're not even, it's like, oh, he's red and he's blue. We're not even just human. There's absolutely, what the fuck? It's like living under a rock. Why do you think aliens really don't fucking come here besides the ones that have already made the deals way before? But that was precisely how it needed to be done. And see, why? When we come to do what we need to do, we complete it, side quest, represent timelines, closed out, eradication. And if you feel like, oh my gosh, that's not very insert your faith, it doesn't matter what you believe, any of you, including me. If it's not fucking truth, it does not exist. It is not reality. Don't get stuck in a past timeline where all of this made sense. Words rhymed and things were what was perceived as perfection. That was a distraction, detection, implementation, recoding. It was also a lot of mini tests, mini games for those to see if they had the chance, true of heart, to make free will choices without being influenced. I'm not a fucking influencer. The intent itself is to influence one. When you are truth, you just be you. And everybody is them, and they, and dude, it's fucking awesome. Oh, and do I cuss? And does that bother you? I'm not here for salvation. I'm not here to be this fairy tale version of a bippity boppity boo. This is reality. This is real world. There's wars going on. There's people dying and hungry and in pain. And this is the end game, and now you want what? Oh, let's all get a ribbon of participation. Well, yeah, you do. You get a participation ribbon wrapped around the ties that bind with your affiliation. Say, with real law and judgment, not this. Let me tell you, there are just a handful of things that really upset who I rep for, the Most High, by choice. By the way, he wasn't like, hey, I'm God, and everybody's just enslaved, and you should all make me your leader. Oh my gosh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And like I said, ego, envy, evil does not exist, ever, never lived, and evermore. You have to know, even when you don't know, it's in you. And if that doesn't vibrate and resonate, it's cool, you know? Not everyone gets to reach certain levels when they chose, even subconsciously, to stay in their lane and do what they needed to do. For lack of a better word, a non-playing character. But yet, you beige, you non-playing characters that by not choosing is a choice. We are basing this on universal law and other, it's a combined and collective, well, I really can't summarize it. I can't spin it in a ball and drop it on your head. But I can throw it at the hoop and make nothing but net. I can take a trout and feed not crowds and masses. I'll feed the entire realm and those attachments that are under the sovereignty of the star. Because real power is to be free, and no one is free until there is truth. And that's for those who were lost, stuck in the void, binded, bounded, those who had passed away, that remained, to reincarnate, to be fed again and again. The more pain, the more to gain. See, it doesn't matter what you believe, because in truth, you're stuck in a void. You're stuck, stilled, stalled, ready to be played again, to be used, to be grateful, be thankful, be blessed for your scraps while you work hard with this vision that was drilled into your fucking head as you lay down in your bed, sweet dreams, living the dream. I'm in existence in a really fun place that's not this fucking prison planet, but it is. It's the same place. It's very paradoxical and it's very affinity. And just like this is kind of like a school, I guess I could run it down like with all the principalities, but I'll just simplify it. You can't call judgment and justice, and it's real. And that's really something that annoys the Most High, the authorization of an authoritative position that's meant to be in its own place holding sovereignty for the masses. You misconstrued that, weaponized it, and really sloppy with your word choices in that biblical sense. And to make the hive remain alive, you must sustain. So everybody is a part, some way, somehow, connect the dots. Repent, repay, confess your sins to the ones that already know it, helped you hand over hand, bend over backwards, break, kill yourself, make yourself a sacrifice so they can get off on the pain. I've been everything in existence. One time I was actually a tree. That was actually pretty fun. Oh my gosh, look at me. I'm talking about me, when it's really even not about me or you or any of us. It's legacy. It's those who you have not met yet, but will. This isn't past, present, future. That's like different shapes. Like this is a circle, this is a square, this is a triangle. A triangulation, a manipulation, a prison planet, a slaughterhouse. Micro, macro, what's being done here is being done in a sense, in a way, in a shape, in a form. If you can't tell what is nature, and I'm not talking about the trees or the wind and the breeze and the knowing that something's off. And if that resonates and it vibrates and you're like, holy shit, this is real, it doesn't matter because I'm not here to influence you at all. Just inform in truth, insane in the membrane. I must be, for those who are many and plenty, do not have portals like me. It's like that game of Operation where everything's kind of plastic, but stuck in the right places. Even the healthcare, everything you've ever known, shown, blown into you. It's not scary. You do not need to fear. And that timeline's over. And as someone who was asleep, a vessel, a little lamb, that was just this timeline. And there's many timelines actually for this timeline. And this isn't Terminator. This isn't a one-trick pony that does one trick, circle and twirl. Even if it's a horse of many colors, it goes in a circle and it comes back to the start. When I say from the beginning, the end, and everything in between, this isn't Wonderland. This isn't Inception. This is Donnie Darko, Rabbit, Black Hole. It's gonna be a lot of glitches and witches and ditches. I love that Rob song. Rob Zombie? You're not ever gonna be perfect because perfection in itself is not even paradoxical. It's wordplay and it's gibberish, but everybody strives to be it and to covet it when that in itself makes my brain kind of hurt because it's like, oh, this is dumb. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. To be infected, to be affiliated, the zombie bite, the parasitic, circle jerking humanoid in every industry. Now, just because there's a rotten apple, don't mean all of them are bad. Don't throw them out like the baby in the bathwater, like the kids that go missing to feed the beast. No. Time out. Penalty. Oh, wait. What? You weren't playing by the rules? You know the Hall of Fame where you created these idols and... Oh, if you think that is entertaining, the whole influx since December 21st, 2021, and just now, the amount of discoveries of truth has exponentially, it's a doom shot. From the very beginning of what is conditioned in human sense, the beginning of time, to December 21st, 2021, all the discoveries and everything like that does not trump wordplay. December 21st, 2021 to now, or actually really any time you can do 2024. You can take all the numbers, add them up, the numerology, astrology, and this is why I pick and choose. And not by the ideology of what is what one perceives as pick and choose. It's precise, it's precision. What you think is mistakes, failures, an oddity, a flaw, is me recoding this fucking realm. It's a Wreck-It Ralph, a Fix-It Felix. It's a cat with a bag. She's dancing in a bubble. And unlike the hive colonization, I don't need so many to work together, to connect, to collaborate, to create. Nothing but just spread. Ugh, it's so gross. You're like an icky STD that's on my fucking earth. Ew. It's gross. What's really gross and really annoying when you know what you know and have that knowing. But even then, the unknown part is what's making it fun and exciting. Because if I knew all the spoilers and how this all ends, which it never really does, well, that wouldn't be very exciting. It would be not real. There's many watching. This isn't, it's entertainment, of course, but there's purpose and there's legacy. And it's always been about them. They, all of it, from the beginning in time, which includes many of us, even those that will never exist in any sense, and those who got lost, and even those who are demonic and evil. I used to actually be one in one lifetime. And see, you just don't flip the switch and be like, oh, hey, you know what? I think I'm not going to be one to do that. You have to do the work. And like I said, I have been here for a fucking very long time. A perception of what right now you would perceive as time. And so, to be me, who I am, is not in comparison to another who is they. Truth in self. It's, I'd like to say it's another level, but that's really a glass ceiling that we burst in our Willy Wonka elevator with true power. It's beyond every X-Men you can create, superheroes. Every one where I exist is free. This is why it had to be done divinely, precisely, and entertaining. See, you were never the stars, because the stars are up in the sky. It's not about followers. Hitler had so many behind. Jesus had 12? And that was just man, I think, and let this sink deep down, which I know it won't. That was a trigger and a quiver. That was me with my bow, arrow, bullseye. Because it hits one eye, it hurts all of it. But I can sit here in my sovereign, safe little space, aware of those who have been watching, trying to make a case. This is what happens when you open up your mouth and your brain and your mind and you just let anyone feed it. Like those birds that chew up their food and spit it into their babies. That is still nature and designed that way when it's done with those. It's very entertaining for the hive. They find it amusing because you're not a fucking human. You're You're many. To get to the many, you must be one. And, this truth hurts. There is no exceptions, no substitution. This isn't an individual. This isn't, gee, buddy, let's go and get an ice cream cone. This isn't a fucking game. This isn't a TV show. You all in the hive have been living in the lie. And I guess all that inbreeding and time again, regurgitating into the same kind of clumps of those, of the bigger eye. Weird. Maybe you forgot, how it works? Kind of, sort of. I know that hurts, right? It's compression for the lack of comprehending intentionally. Being ignorant is the same as not choosing to play. Why the fuck, if you haven't played in any way, you get to go to the last level, which isn't the last at all. It's many. This isn't a video game. This is reality. It exists beyond existence. And I can't make it make sense, Nancy, Sue, Karen, Drew. It doesn't matter the name or the term, the word. That in itself is used as bondage, a bandage, a barrier. If you had to use and communicate with words, 3, like the Trinity. I am. And then that other one, if you can comprehend, you will understand that you can still speak, but you don't hear a sound. And that's a ripple effect. Oh, and let me just send a big golden Care Bear hug to those in my divine collective Because we're all part of the collective, but we're all not walking around like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. This is a side quest. This is free will choice. This is those, and like I said, I can only speak for those in my collective. And if that triggers those who think and believe that they are what they say they are, you need to speed that up because you're not going to make it. You cannot believe and make it true. You either are and is who you are, or you are not at all. You have to be you in truth to be all. Otherwise, you couldn't handle the real power in the existence. It would, and it's not like, oh, sorry, you can't sit with us. It's like, oh, honey, this is gonna kill you. But at least when those who get the tickle from the sickle, from the Grim Reaper, because not everything in the dark, just like in the light, is evil. And there really shouldn't be that many demonic, or at least at my level, roaming around. And even those in that realm of principalities, of fire and brimstone, there's the principalities. And I would like to visualize for an understanding, for those who are just curious, like I said, each of my gold little candies that I toss up in the air, it's different for each one. It's not across the board. The only thing that is the same in any way across the board, not your interpretation or your perception, is universal law and applicable ones that govern this realm and those under the same associated sovereignty. This isn't a monarchy. This isn't a leader. There is the star that sits on the Earth realm. If you really want to get sci-fi, kind of like a Jupiter ascending, which is still a dictatorship, and they're being used to slaughter. And see, it's fascinating because no one understands what power is. And I love that Stanley quote. I really do. And I'm not saying that because I want people to understand and comprehend, oh my gosh, I'm not dogging on him because it's a dog-eat-dog world. And bitches bunched up will go out to lunch. Make sure to pot and plan, to prepare. Why does it take so many to change a light bulb? When just one could take it out. Oh shit, that's right. Because you're a hive, a parasite. And I'm the motherfucking sun. Why would you want to take the sun out? Then, it makes no sense. Because they're senseless. And you don't get to be in seats like those in power positions here, obviously. Those are paperwork, contracts, agreements. It's even in a sense where you were manipulated. It's 2024, the affinity year. That ignorant gameplay, mind, lack of whatever it is, whatever it was, once upon a time, the end. It's not a happily ever after. This isn't a book. This isn't a video game. This is like Enoch having to describe what he saw, and it's taken and misconstrued and coded. Because even when he doesn't know, even at that present time, like I said, I don't speak for those on the Starfleet, those in my squad. And it is free will that we rep for the Most High, not that. Smear campaigns started with that. Like, ew. I would not want to. That's why I'm like, ew. I'm not going to do any of that weird faith stuff to something that I already know without knowing as a sleeper agent. Coded. Actually, quite humorously in the Bible, because you thought it was gibberish. It was actually quite substantial and activating specifically for those that needed to know. Exactly how it was designed, divinely, precisely, precision. When I clean up, I clean it up good. I make it like it's brand new, like a fresh start. And this isn't a bippity boppity poo or what you've been filling your head to make it dead, because if it's full of bullshit that you really don't need to hold in the vessel that's your portal, your bridge, then you'll never be who you were meant to be. And that's okay. There's always another chance, perhaps. At least you won't be stuck in the slaughterhouse cycle, or those significant, because it's judgment and justice. Now, I may be a shot caller. I may be able to say and state, because it is truth. Do not hold on to a past that never was real. You got to take a leap of faith. And I love taking the words that are meant to trigger MK Ultra. It's really not something I really like to do, because it's not that I can't do it. I can't do everything. I mean, I could. I could do it all. But there's a point of the ego, that mindset. When I say that I lead and I sit and I am, and my powers, my gifts, these terminologies that are just stripped and criticized, and everything that one has to do mentally, whatever's going on inside you, that's triggering you right now, really upsetting, that you want to judge and be criticized. For example, this would be a good example. This will be on that level of that understanding. That's a gold nugget that you might be able to hold in your hand. Not this round, not everyone gets to go. And unlike what was done in the past, it's not anything that you can't sit with us, you're not too cool. It's so not petty. This is actually for your safety and wellness. And also, because it's universal law, it's a principality that is across the board. When you, for example, and I always come back around, not on your time frame, your clock. I'm on a profound measurement of time. I love it. The words, it's, if you know, you know. The unknown to be known. It's like, baby, one more time. Britney Spears is a great example. You build someone up, and she has skills and talent, and actually, that's offensive. I'm not going to have to handhold you and explain who the fuck Britney Spears is. Rise to power could not be part of the Hive when the Hive tried to do it so many times, so they flipped it. And this is why you may not be fully in the Hive, but you have the zombie bite, motherfuckers. You're infected. This is Dead Space. I can't get you on the boat. This isn't a movie. We're like, please, please take this and that. This isn't on a micro level. This is at a level you can't comprehend. Not everyone gets to sit where I sit, and I sit at many seats. On this realm, I've gone without eating. I've lost it all. To lose again and again and again and again, to feel suffering you can't comprehend, to be everything in existence, to see and be, and not just this timeline. When I was existing on a completely another level, I was always top of class, efficient, effective, enlightening. You can't slay demons and go in the dark. This isn't supernatural. This isn't War of the Worlds. This is reality. And just one realm, a particular choice word, because I have to bind and bandage everything up, or it all goes and disappears. This isn't the biblical heaven that, oh my gosh. Why? And I get it, because I was there. I've been there so many times. Like I said, when I've been everything, and every time, in this timeline, in many different shades and stacks and tones, this one in particular, of what you know to be Sam, I am, because I snap back like a rubber band. To truly understand how to eradicate to be who I am, truly, at this time point. Nobody's really special. I mean, in a way, yeah, but that's because we signed up freely to rep for the Most High. See, to know is not to know. So when I made a choice of free will, that's exactly real freedom. It wasn't fear, like, oh no, if I don't do X, Y, and Z and be everything that I am not, to shame, to blame. Yeah, it's very junior high mentality. We age our vessels, but many just stay the same because it's always been here on their own time frame of them being first. Like I said, it's really a quantifying visual blocking. And even those who create space shuttles and keep all the secrets that they stole from those, why do you think those from before, who are never more, their inventions, their revelations, their insane schizo, she must be the XYZ, oh, another OD? What used to be laughed and mocked, persecuted for entertainment, there's only been a very slow evolution. But it's on repeat. You just can't see the pattern because you're not meant to. Because not that you don't matter. It is individualistic, but then it's not. It's universal law, and the high forgot. But when you know, you know. And they did know at one point, at least a comprehension, a placeholder. Aw, when you're null and void contracts, and those I speak as a sovereign being, I am free. All contracts ever done, fraudulent, negligently manipulated. If it wasn't truth, it does not exist. You can take your papers with signatures of any kind. This is a playtime. This is a make-believe. Your make-believe entrapments do not entrap me. You have buried and enjoyed it, those from before. And you will continue to do it. Warnings, red flags, all of it. It's already been done. Many actually chose different paths. Pretty cool. Even demons, such as myself at one point, not on this timeline. Ooh, are you scared? I actually am feared. Oh, is that ego? If you are still using terminology that is focused on me to understand what you cannot understand because you are not me, then you are not you. To exist as I am, and we will exist in different points, different checks, different marks, different ties, and from before. But I don't want to give any spoilers. I'd like to say hurry up, but this isn't a Disney movie. This isn't Wahlberging. This isn't Rudy. This isn't one of those, just a average guy being like the stars. That's offensive to who you are and can be and was and is, and those who are in line, bloodline. We do not need papers. We do not need documentations. We don't need little buttons, little brands and tags. Those that are celebrities, that are famous, the ones that are heated right now, the ones that makes you feel something when those around you agree or disagree because you're all in the same boat. And you've been thinking this whole time, you're in a fucking paper bag. This is not even a flip of a script. Surprise! You want to use war games, chess. You want to use any sort of symbols and visual aids, pie charts, words. It's because you need the flashcards to keep it, retain. If it was good for me, I had to walk in the snow and the rain for miles as a kid to justify, to keep it the same. And to keep it there by your own choice. Because it's so basic to spit and look at someone else than your own self. You have no comprehension of what fear is, and in that self is why I will tell you to look at the flowers. I will be the Carol, the one from episode 1, where she was just a weak woman getting beat up by her husband. I mean, come on. Of course she's gonna die real close, right? You know, probably 5 minutes in. And you can have your opinions. When she said, look at the flowers and made the decision, you can't understand or rule or sit at the tables that I sit at and make decisions with those positions aligned. Because it blow your fucking mind, dude. Like, jeez. And this isn't by blood, and this isn't a interbred European, this isn't bullshit, a fairy tale. This isn't, I eat a god cookie and I got special powers, a spider bit me, and everything's just, you know, this is reality. I can't save you from the mentality of an illusion if you wish to remain. I could care less what you choose, because that is your own choosing. It's not losing or winning or anything like that. I rep for the Most High and represent the mouthpiece, the microphone. I don't need to run around and say, look at me, because the message isn't like that. Those who know the truth do not have so many that know and follow. That's the Pied Piper leading you astray. That's Peter Pan. Dark at night, even his shadow was trying to leave. Then you have the hive that can never accept what it is, because it is incapable. And it would be offensive if I would compare it to an animal or even bacteria. This is like a zombie. And it is what it is, as above and below. You don't need to know my origin story or how long and who and each and everything I have been. Like I said, I've been fucking everything within purpose. I wasn't a fucking like a obviously I'm not a toaster or something like that. I'm using like the brave little toaster because, like I said, to make you understand would burst your head because, like I said, I've been many things. I still fucking am. And those that are really vibrating right now and their heads kind of like buzzing, but not the kind, like comprehension, because it hurts, because it's a sensation. It is what it is. And if it's triggering you, there's purpose, not placement. Real power and truth is truly this love that holding a baby, holding one that you birthed, affinity is that it's so profound that I would go all back and around time and time again. I would suffer the most suffering that I could possibly. I'd sacrifice. I'd do it all over again. And I kind of have. And I've done this and that. But what I'm saying is, that's freely chosen. No one wants to be followed when you really have power of creation. Better do this, this, and that. He wasn't telling you his rules. He was trying to tell you the lines of chaos, the nature of it. A pig one day can't be something it can never be. It wasn't designed. Like I said, everything you've ever known, from every timeline that you're connected to, and not just you, those by blood and spirit sense in other realms. And like I said, I can't simplify it because no one on this planet is fucking just a human, dude. And aren't you excited that many of these timelines that could have been have been downloaded already on different timelines, and we watch it instead? But you can only work with what you got. And that's why so many have left little tokens, inceptions, Easter eggs. It's not faith. It's not fate. It's knowing it's true. That's what's guiding you. That's what guided me. As it always has. But this particular timeline, I'm very glad, very happy, very pleased. My birthday's coming up. I'm very excited. And I know that so many are happy. In a way, you can still be happy to blow away. It's nature. It's the cycles, the seasons. What wasn't able to understand at one timeline, storyline was created. There is still some little truth nuggets trickled about. But why just have just a little bit of that? Anything. on this planet? What if we lived in a world where it was normal to birth what you eat? Then wake up one day and realize that you've been eating your own.
See, this is what's going on, right? And let's say, and state, because it's true, it doesn't really care. It's incapable. It's really a gross, little disgusting, parasitic high, colonization, humanoid, centipedic, circle jerking. This is distortion. And if you believe they can be helped, yeah, you've been infected. Because you lack the comprehension, and you will, and that's okay, you know, I know, but I don't need to really put any sort of energy in a physical sense, or, you know, like, oh, we're going to war, or any of that. Why do you think it's so fun to watch those that are blind, enslaved, kill themselves, while those who aren't at war, they're not even doing anything but getting hard off the fact that you're suffering? It's not even like a P. Diddy level. I mean, he's still part of the hive, but do you see what happens when those who have a perception of power, what they do with their time and what they try to create, when they lack the ability to do such? Why it takes so many to make anything, and one little truth, a whisper. Fuck, I can be clear across on another fucking continent. I'll whisper the truth. Watch it manifest in creation worldwide. I mean, we can do galactic, but I mean, everybody's watching anyway. There is the main star. It's, well, for lack of a better word, it's talked about during breaks, at the water trowel, whatever the fuck that is. And it's okay, like Cypher in Matrix, where he just wanted to go back and eat steak. And people wanted to give him shit, because he wanted to make that choice. Him having the choice of that, it's okay. What wasn't okay was the breaking of universal law. Oh. And those that call judgment and the persecution of criminals and crimes that are based on lies, those who sit in a place holding authoritative position in this realm, you wrote the fucking terminology and misconstrued it itself in the Bible. And you think at the revival that he's gonna toss out like God cookies and you're gonna be saved? Is it because on Sundays you just go and you tell somebody in a booth like all your sins, and he just says, hey, say these affirmations and you'll be fine? What? Okay. You're not even no one tells all the truths. They all keep it hidden. And that's why he was weaponized. He wasn't even villain. They just made a projection or personification of what this hive wanted to be or covet. Like, heck, I mean, I never was into that. I respected others, because there still is a sense of truth
Not everyone's drinking the juice. But to be free is not the free that you think it is. Oh, yay, free range turkeys. Someone still is splayed out, carved up. That Thanksgiving dinner, I remember one timeline, we celebrated the guy who rode on a boat on a timeline. Which one are we talking about? Because it's been changed so many times. Oh yeah, we celebrated the guy that came over and said he was this and that, and then he really was just a slaughter. Yeah, that's fucked up. And so many of you hold on those nuggets that you were taught. It's you can Google down that rabbit hole and educate yourself with a very basic understanding of what's really going on. It's like a golden book trying to explain what's really going on your body when we're all the same, but we're really not all the same. And I'm not talking about color. I guess if I was to compare, I would say that so many are at war at each other because of a pinky toenail being different variations. And that's a big gold nugget that I gave out, because where existence that I speak of, the truth, if you're still focused on me and it's making you upset or triggering or whatever it is, that there's a sensation in any sense, that it makes you want to cough and fart, but you do that naturally because you've been conditioned since birth, from time and time again, everyone in your bloodline and other principalities and realms, to not be you. So that burp, that fart, the way you breathe, shit, the boogers come out, all of this and that, your vessel. It's very systematic. It's one of the most divinely perfections ever created. And with that being said, Jesus didn't come down here because he's like, hey, go down there and to the slaughterhouse, because I really like everybody on this planet. Like, what the what? Y'all just been drinking the same shit you've been shitting. And I'm only talking to the hive. I am mocking each one of you. With all your eyes, you cannot see what's not meant to see. You've been blind and bind. And, I could give warnings, but you're just going to keep doing what you've always done. You're going to continue what you've been continuing, that circle jerking. And everything's in motion. You can't plead your case. If anything, I'm still the target. I'm still, in your mindset, the same. Jesus didn't come down here because God chose to save this realm. Jesus exists where I am also from. He came by free will. When you understand truth and you know what love is, that's right, I'm the motherfucking Batman. Do you want to come after anyone. Take the bulls by the horn. I'm the bull's eye, the target, the bait. I'm everything and more. And you know when I say it, I speak it, it is true. I'm not just gibbering and gobbling up bullshit to spit it out and it just happens. That is ridiculous. That is... If you had a comparison of what power is, if you really could compare it to your level, you'd just be rolling around your own shit, man. Just rolling it around. Like, there's no purpose. You just want to, like, what the fuck? Oh, but it's because you are a parasite. I'm not trying to make you understand because you can't understand. It's a trigger. It's a gunshot, a doom shot. I'm not a Bugs Bunny. I'm not a White Rabbit. I'm fucking every fucking story ever written. All the characters, the director, the audience, and all it is that you are with all your seeing and knowing is a blob. Y'all are a bunch of chickens, no roosters, no hens, just a bunch of chickens stuck in a coop like a rat king, but a chicken coop stuck with all your poop. You're just ick and cringe, unhinged. And it's not like, ooh, I have to stop you. It's spreading. We've already done this. We've already completed this. It's already been done. This is like a bonus round and level for certain ones. And it's not because, oh my gosh, I need X, Y, and Z. It's exactly how it always is. It's a side quest, it's a mission. It's affinity. And I wish, but I won't, because it really has no purpose. Because when one calls judgment and justice, and it must be a balance, not what you considered a balance of justice. I'm talking real universal law. It's, it just trumps your law school, your legal, and filling your head with stuff that is really, you know, what you rep for, or what you look away. You know that you have to win a case. It's a mockery. It's a distortion. It's implementation. It's not ignorance. Hand over hand. You may not hold the gun and killed and murdered and buried, but that's only on your perception, or those who convince the jury. Those who are in authoritative place-holding positions on this earth. Oh my, oh my. I can call judgment. It's what I do. But I don't waste my time on those that don't run across my table. It's not because I am a CEO or a VIP and I sit on my ass and make a lot of fucking monopoly money. Why, I get off on the fact that so many are working for scraps. Oh, but I'll make myself feel better by donating money. I know what is being done, and I know that's not true. And I am so amused for what I advise, which is truth, to utilize my voice, my truth, when I speak and stay, is that those that are holding on to a fantasy are just repeating what they've been doing because it worked before. Exactly. And you search high and wide from the very creation of this creative prison for the one that you seek. Like the Neo, the Trinity, the bright star for Jesus' birth. Everything is blasphemy and this and that. Why does it matter who a being is? Exactly. Because you want to take out the one that can and is and has and will and entertain, and not in the way that you puppet performers play, pretend, really embodiment, the character. The Truman Show was better scripted and executed better than this Earth script. And I am really giving out that hand. But I don't give handouts. And as what was said and stated, and true, there is no loopholes. That's the beauty of it. What you think is a loophole with your law system and understanding is a null and void. And I love to state on this sunflower, Kansas, the yellow brick road, the in-between exist and existence. Dorothy Gale, small Kansas girl, black and white, with her little dog Toto. All she ever known was that. And then, one day, gosh, a gale of wind, a gust, storm, took her fucking little, safe little space and dropped the world essentially on a witch, I guess, if I had to really give a label. We really don't know if she was capable or who it was perceived to be. There can be all the Easter eggs to explain something, and some do apply, but the Easter eggs that you find are for you to find. Not everything is meant to be understood by everyone, because then that means the focus is not on you. And I'm not talking self-love or that jazz. This isn't a tap dance, a Shirley Temple, take a bow, lollipop, lollipop. This is me, Kenny G, smooth talking. I'll say it louder in the back. But like I said, I can whisper. I can even think it. And it is true. I do not need to speak it as a basic human, like a golden book version of kind of sort of what some of us have came from. You know how everybody says this is a melting pot? Kind of like quantify that. And everybody is fed to be on either this team or this team. It's a football game, but it's happening in the world. It's all different games to entertain or gain the pain, your enslavement, your purpose is to serve this parasite that actually needs the host to survive. We're not going to do 28 days later, or 28 weeks, or any of that. And just like as a child in school, there was a kitchen set or a reading nook or play outside. There's different sectors. This isn't a hive. You're not a bee or a wasp or a pig or a donkey. And that's like ridiculous. And that is who they are. And it's fascinating because I am an extremely impatient being on this personification of who I am at this existence. Because time is non-existent. And I've been here for such a long time and not here at the same time. And not everyone's meant to be saved, because what you think is salvation for another isn't at all. Some are cipher and want to go back and eat the steak, and others want to do this and that, and others are just part and they blend and they're part of the landscape that still has a purpose. And then it's kind of like a Terminator, but everybody's all focused on things that have already happened, but we closed out. And some are just vibrations. This isn't anything. It's really nothing at all. When a word falls on your head as a download, as those who wore tinfoil, for those who were told their art is trash, to be a new art movement, to grow, expand, and be who those people were. And if that inspires, it does, but ass, donkey, ridden. Don't let words and understand what's not meant to understand, because you are understandable only to yourself, but that takes time, and you must be vibing very high if you're still listening to this and you are part of a specific golden apple. We'll meet very soon in the physical sense. I look extremely ecstatic because it's been a long time. Great job, high five. We did it again and again and again. And even then, what I just said meant something to someone else. As purpose, growth. Also, it's just fucking truth. Ain't that dope? Ain't that rad? Ain't that awesome? I think so. I hope and I pray and I wish on a star. Ain't gonna save a day if it's fucking false and not truth. And I'm gonna say that again and again with precision when I need to. Even when I don't need to know, I do. And that's not for everyone. That's just for me. Because why would I speak for you? I'm not you. I am as I always am. And will be at this time and always. At each step, breath, portal, quantum. I am affinity. Free. And look at you all stuck together, all knowing, all seeing. Ugh. Fun little activity. If you don't know what I am referring to, what a rat king is, it's disgusting. And even that could be helped. You know, that is, and when I use the terminology of parasitic, that is not a parasite in your book of knowledge in the encyclopedia. It's just a simplified wordage that I'm using to umbrella term things. If I really wanted to actually give it an existence, then I would actually put the energy to do so. But really, why the fuck would I do that if it doesn't exist at all? That's like bonkers. Willy Wonka. Who's on the boat ride? Are you ready to ride? Because those who are really vibing right now, really ecstatic, it's erratic. Well done. Precise precision, you power hitters. God is extremely pleased. As always, as am I. With truth and love. I am. And you are you. To see and be where we ready are. Good night. Good morning. We are affinity. Over and out.